Welcome to the explainer. There's a type of neural network called an RNN. They're fantastic with sequences, but they've got this one kind of weird problem, a really short memory. So why is that? All right, let's get right into it. To figure this out, we're going to first look at the problem RNNs have. Then we'll meet their superpowered successor, the LSTM. We'll peek inside, see how it's built, understand how it fixes that whole memory thing, and then, talk about why any of this actually matters in the real world. So first things first, before we can really appreciate why LSTMs were such a huge deal, we've got to get our heads around the problem they were built to solve. What is this memory problem with standard RNNs? Okay, so it all boils down to how they learn. Picture an RNN reading a long paragraph. The information, this signal from the very first word, has to survive a journey all the way to the very last word. And here's the catch. With every single word it processes, that original signal gets just a little bit weaker, and then a little weaker. By the time you get to the end of the paragraph, the influence of those first few words, it's pretty much gone. It's vanished. And that, right there, is what we call the vanishing gradient problem. It makes it almost impossible for the network to connect something that happened at the beginning with something at the end. Yeah, a signal that just fades away. That sounds like a massive flaw, right? But, as it turns out, it forced a really, really clever solution. And that solution, that's the long short-term memory network, or as everyone calls it, the LSTM. These things were literally designed from the ground up to tackle this one specific problem, remembering things over a long, long time. So what's their secret sauce? What's going on inside an LSTM that lets it hang on to memories for so much longer? Let's pop the hood and take a look. The magic is really in its internal design. At the very core of an LSTM, you've got something called the cell state. Now, the best way to think about this is like an express lane on a highway. It's a special conveyor belt for information that runs right through the whole system, completely separate from the normal traffic. And this special highway, it isn't just a free-for-all. It has these really smart, carefully controlled on-ramps and off-ramps. We call them gates. And these gates are the whole key. They're what give the LSTM the power to decide what information gets on the highway and what gets taken off. Seriously, these gates are everything. So let's break down how these three little gatekeepers work together to manage all that information. Okay, so there are three of them, and each one has a very specific job. First up, we've got the forget gate. Its whole purpose is to look at old information that's already on the highway and decide, hey, do we still need this? It learns to throw out things that aren't relevant anymore. Then you have the input gate. This is the on-ramp. It checks out the new information coming in and decides if it's important enough to be added to our express lane. It's basically the bouncer for the information highway. And last but not least, the output gate. This one looks at everything currently on the cell state highway and decides what part of that information is actually useful for making a decision right now, like predicting the next word in a sentence. It turns all that stored memory into an actual useful action. Okay, I get it. We've got this awesome information highway. We've got these three gates managing the traffic. It's a cool system. But how exactly does this setup solve that deep mathematical problem we talked about, the vanishing gradient? Right, it all comes back to that signal we talked about, the one that's supposed to help the network learn. Remember how in a regular old RNN, it just got weaker and weaker with every step? Well, this is where the cell state is so brilliant. It creates a direct, uninterrupted path for that signal to travel backwards. And the forget gate is the real hero here. It can learn to just open up and let important information pass straight through without being weakened at all. That means the signal doesn't die. And suddenly, the network can actually connect something that happened way at the beginning of a text to an outcome way at the end. Okay, that is incredibly powerful. So what did this newfound ability to remember things for a long time actually let us do in the real world? Oh, it was an absolute game changer. I mean, this is a perfect example of how fixing one super technical problem can just blow the doors open for progress everywhere. LSTMs are the backbone of so much of what we use today. Modern machine translation, the really smart chatbots, even systems that can read a product review and tell you if it's positive or negative. Which kind of leaves us with a pretty fascinating question, doesn't it? If a machine can truly remember and understand the entire context of a long conversation, what's the next step? What will it be able to predict then? And that's our deep dive into how LSTMs came to the rescue. Hey, if you found this useful, do me a favor, share it with a friend, and make sure you subscribe for more explainers like this one.